What is up, freaks? How are you doing tonight?
Hey.
Hello.
Can you see where
Sarah
I
is
am?
on location.
Oh, I see you are on location.
Yeah.
Yes.
Who was
With
that?
the ghosties. With the ghosties.
We got the Christmas tree in the background. So festive.
Yeah. You know, it's still Christmas around here.
You should have plugged it in, have it lit up.
I mean, I can.
Yeah, go plug it in. You have give the the whole
might as
effect.
well.
Yeah.
There it is.
Look at that.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Later.
Although I do want to be the first to wish you guys a very happy National Email Day,
Oh, Jesus Christ.
which we celebrate every day.
All day long.
Man,
I
it's
like
such a-
to send some sassy emails, so
you should. We just randomly send emails just to celebrate. Just say Happy Email Day.
happy email day.
Happy Email Day, everybody. Again, we've got Beyond The Badge Paranormal coming on the show with us. I see him in the queue, and I want to thank them very much for taking the time to join us on National Email Day, which of course is probably a very busy time of year for everybody. So if you're watching us, we thank you for tuning us in. Rhonda, how you doing?
I'm doing good. Crazy day, but I am good.
I heard you had some issues mowing your lawn today.
Oh my gosh. So actually, this is actually better than before. The people who lived across the street from me before, I think there was like 5 people living there. And I swear to gosh, every time I go cut the grass, all 5 of them were sitting on the porch drinking beer. And my friends thought I was joking until they came over one day. And they were like, they really sit on the porch and do that. I'm like, yes, they do.
Weird
so
lawn mowing fetish.
Come on, man. I'm doing this on my lunch hour. I'm just trying to get stuff done. Like,
creeping you out and shit.
Yeah. You look over and they're just sitting on the porch looking at you, not smoking. It's like they're not on.
I don't like when people watch me
or whatever. It's like you have a backyard. Why are you sitting on the front porch?
Like reality TV.
Like random people watching me drives me insane. Well, I mean, I'm on a podcast, so I guess random people are going to watch me anyway.
Well, we want them to watch you now.
I know. That would be like a little.
Yeah.
It's just frustrating because you're already frustrated because like I'm doing this on my lunch hour, so I need to get it done.
Weirdo.
And then it's like I looked over and I was like, "Are you for real?" I'm gonna have to hurt their feelings. It's gonna happen.
You're drinking my tea, which I did not put coffee in this time.
What? No coffee tea?
No coffee tea. I took the pot out this morning and never put one back in. So that's why I didn't have.
I guess no 8-ball for you tonight.
Do what?
I guess no 8-ball for you tonight.
No. Yeah, Hanny offered me a Red Bull. I'm like, no, thank you. Is she there doing?
You could have mixed it with your sleepy time coffee.
Greg.
It could have been a good trip for you.
Well, I know, right? I'd be seeing shit.
Ups and downs.
Like looking her. If I start looking out in the corner and like see nothing, you'll know.
Ryan's like, where the fuck did that come from?
Yeah. I start levitating and shit. My head starts spinning. So, Sarah, how's it going at the cabin?
It's good. It's quiet, which is good. I was walking back and like I could hear on the road, on the gravel road, I could hear something like running. And I was like, listen, motherfucker, like
David,
you cannot fuck with me right now. Leave me alone. I was by myself. Jason waited for me until I got back because I was a little like, I don't know. It's scary being here by myself. So
is Hanny still there or did she leave?
No, she's still here with me because I'm a little scary.
I mean, I get creeped out if I'm by myself there at night. So, it's like every noise you hear is like it gets like.
But I can see them. That's the thing. Like I was telling Heaven, like I get scared because I can see them, and it scares the crap out of me when they pop up out of nowhere. Like when I went into the rancher.
The rancher, yeah. Yeah, she said she got run up on.
Yes, the thing in the basement came and literally, as soon as I opened up the door, it went, and I screamed and like shut the door.
Huh. That's interesting. I mean, the last time we were there, like I said, we were upstairs. The investigation was pretty much over. Some of us were in the kitchen, and John and Dennis were like in the living room, kind of leaning in the door talking. And all of a sudden, we just heard footsteps right on down the hall.
It's so
Crazy.
scary.
I know our friends from Beyond the Badge have got some stories to tell about the cabin. But first, we've got to give a paranormal shout out to, which I know isn't actually a team now. It's still around. Had it posted 2 days ago.
Good job doing that research, Ryan. I'm proud of you.
Yes. Wait for their numbers to shoot up. Get the paranormal, the freaking awesome bump. But we're going to give a shout out. It's going to happen eventually. Maryland Ghost Trackers. We are a dedicated team of individuals who have a passion for the paranormal, which is good. You want to have a passion for it. If it said we don't care about the paranormal, I would not really want to use them as. I could give two shits about the paranormal, honestly.
I could not give two fucking shits about this shit.
It's just such a waste of time. Why am I doing this? Go call somebody else.
Don't call me.
That's right. I'm scared of ghosts. Best paranormal team ever. But Maryland Ghost Trackers are the exact opposite of that. They're cool.
The complete opposite.
Because they got the Freakin Awesome Paranormal Show stamp of approval.
Yeah.
Which goes a long way. So long. All right. So the word of the day. You ready?
Oh,
Calyptian.
Oh. I feel like I've heard that before.
You probably have, Sarah.
Is it like word for people who don't like calligraphy? I don't know. That's so random.
I hate calligraphy. You know what? Screw calligraphy. That's like.
Oh my goodness.
You probably do have a word for that, but that's not what it is.
Say it
I have
again,
a
Ryan.
t-shirt that says F calligraphy on there.
Calligraphy.
Oh man. So all you people who hate calligraphy, you got a t-shirt for you.
And if it's your passion, we're sorry.
Yes,
That's right. If you love it, then you hate calligraphy. Yeah. Calyptian. It's having a nice ass. A well-rounded buttocks.
Okay.
In a sentence.
Okay, that's definitely not what I thought it was.
I would have
Calyptian.
never
Yes.
put that together.
No.
Is in sentence. Okay, I'm gonna use it in everyday terms. Okay. I like Calyptian butts, and I cannot lie. You other brothers cannot deny. Which was actually the original title of the song,
So fucking stupid.
but they changed it to like Big Butt.
John said he said a well-rounded ass.
Around.
Well-rounded ass.
Listen. I mean,
God.
I'm a bookie girl. I like the Calyptians.
I'm a big Calyptian fan. I heart Calyptians. I get some race of people.
Rhonda's losing her shit.
Ryan's turning red. There we go.
Oh my God, dude. I see that. I see Beyond the Badge. You're like, what the hell's going on here?
Sorry, Beyond the Badge.
I wonder if they like Calyptians too.
I mean, you can't be a human and not like Calyptians.
Oh my goodness. I need to learn how to properly spell it now.
I will send you the proper spelling.
I'm gonna come in next time, and my nickname is gonna be Calyptian.
There we go. That's a great nickname. All right, guys. So we are about to welcome on Jess Webb and Jeremy Lefevre from Beyond the Badge Paranormal. Let's bring them on to the show here. Welcome.
Hey guys,
Hello.
how are we all?
Hello. How are you? Sorry
No, we
about
are
our
good.
rants.
No,
Yes. All right.
Love it.
See, now you know what calypsian means, and you can
Yeah.
use that in parties.
An
that's right.
everyday use of calypsian.
So what's up? How you
Oh,
guys
not
doing?
much. I just got home from the cabin. Sarah's at the cabin, and Rhonda's at home. We're just ready to chat with you guys.
Yeah.
I figured
And
if
hear about your
we're
adventures.
talking about it. Sorry,
We
go ahead.
have a lot of adventures. The cabin's our favorite place, right, Jess?
Yeah, sure. That place left an impact for sure.
Hey, when Ryan sent me a message, he said, "How did he go?" I said, "Horrible." And then he sent it back. And I think he was really worried. He was like, "Oh shit! Like what happened?"
Like
And
nothing. I was like,
but as a paranormal location, fantastic. From a spiritual and emotional point, it was pretty hard. But
it can wear you out,
oh yeah,
man.
yeah. It was funny when you asked. I said, "Horrible, man, horrible." But I meant it as a more of a spiritual issue.
Yeah, the first thing I thought was nothing happened. I was like, oh shit.
Oh no, it was
Opposite of that.
Yeah, I don't know what happens with us sometimes. I think we must
Attract
have.
it.
I think we bring too much baggage. We bring baggage with us, and the spirits feel bad for us. So they actually, try to help us.
Do you think you pick up stuff being first responders that some stuff might attach to you, and it may show up in later investigations?
Sure, absolutely. I don't know what it is, but everywhere we go, we seem to have some sort of crazy event or multiple events. We just got back from Sweet Springs, and that was quite an experience.
Sweet Springs, it's always.
Oh boy! But
what's up, Brandy?
That's my brother or my sister. She went to Sweet Springs with us.
The one person never hasn't been to Sweet Springs yet. I feel kind of left out.
You need to get there, Ryan.
Well, you're gonna come with us next time.
Yeah,
I got a good story to tell you later on when we get to Sweet Springs. When we talk about it, so
we can talk about it now. We have no structure.
Okay,
we just go with the flow.
Hey, we have stories about everywhere we've been so far. The cabin was the most intense place. We didn't expect it as a group for it to be much more than a filler spot, because we've never heard of it, and so we were kind of using it as a filler till we got to Sweet Springs, and lo and behold, it turned out to be one of the most active and hard.
Traumatizing.
Yeah, it was pretty rough.
Yeah, so, I mean, I'm kind of hard to believe. I'm still have a hard time believing it myself that it's so active. I'm like, holy crap, why is this place so crazy?
Yeah, I mean, if you drove by on 360, you would never even know it was a location. But
very unassuming.
Yeah, we made a lot of communication, a lot of contact, especially in the rancher, and that was pretty entertaining, to say the least. Jess had a hard time there. She dealt with a lot of things there, and I felt like we made a pretty good communication and contact with all the spirits there. It was hard, and I think Melissa came through a lot. If you watched our video, we got a lot of evidence there.
Yeah.
And when I was watching all that evidence, having to review it all, it was like reliving our experience there. We got a little bit in the cabin, but the majority of what we got was in that rancher. And if you watch the interaction in Melissa's room and upstairs, that was pretty emotional. There was a lot going on.
That last part of the first video where you guys are doing the spirit box in Melissa's room was just so intense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She screamed, man, and it was the craziest thing I've ever heard. And I wanted to leave that video, that part 1 video, at that scream, because I knew that the end of part 2 was going to be a little more, more peaceful.
Yeah.
But the end of part 1 was rough, man. I had to hear that scream from her repeatedly, and I've had a lot of people ask me, there's no way that could be real, and I'm like, well, I mean, the raw audio is what it is. You can hear her scream in the raw while we're in there. All I did was take it and just up the audio a little bit so you can hear it, the volume. Like she's literally just, screaming for help. So I don't know if that scream itself is a residual energy.
Mhm.
I know her spirit's there, but that scream, I'm not sure if that's just a repeat residual that's just imprinted there from the traumatic event. We've talked about it a lot in our group, and we just happened to catch it. Yeah, it was crazy. But then there's other times where she speaks to us, in a more personal note. There's a couple times where she asks us to stay a little longer. She thanks us for being there. You know, we come in there like a bunch of firemen going into a fire, right? Like we come in with the whole like, hey, we're not afraid of you. We're going to create a protective circle of dads, and we're going to allow her to have an opportunity to be comfortable for a little while, because, you know, whatever's there is oppressing her. That's what we felt, at least. The gentleman upstairs, whoever that is, who's angry because every time I mentioned anything about her, he gave us angry responses.
Yeah, he's
a
I don't like
jerk,
him at
right?
all.
So, and then whatever's downstairs doesn't like the fact that we're there or anyone's there,
Yeah.
especially talking to her. So when we were downstairs with whatever that is down there, you know, one of the most extraordinary things I think that I know I've ever seen paranormal wise was we had the spirit box hooked to a device that cuts out the white noise and just does the reverb and echo. That's what you were hearing downstairs. What our investigators had, which I really like that device that he hooked in there. But it literally, and I don't think most people know this, and I probably should make some sort of an explanation video, but when it says every member of our team's names, it says, so when we're down there, it says we're listening or whatever. And then Cross, the other member, was like, all right, so we have Jeremy, and it says Jeremy. And then it said, they said Randy and Jess. It didn't say anything. Then it said, the box itself said Lisette and then not Lisette. So Lisette is the young, she's 26 years old. She's an investigator that wasn't even there at all. She hadn't been there since the Circa house that we went to in Matthews, the plantation. So she hadn't been there, but it said her name, and then it said not her name. And then it went by itself, went back and forth between Cross, Chris, Jones. So to explain that a little bit, Cross is the guy that you hear talking about, you know, like with that little box. He's one of our investigators. Chris Jones is another investigator we have, and he's our only atheist. He's the only one that's not, you know, doesn't believe, you know, whatever atheists believe, I don't know, but whatever. He's the only one. So what we could pull from that little bit of audio was whatever's down there was having a conversation or discussing or trying to determine which individual it was going to go after. So it says Cross, Chris, Jones, or it said Jonesy, which is kind of a nickname we kind of gave him. And then it says Chris. So it basically went back and forth. And the last name it says is the atheist. Earlier in the day, when we were going through the walkthrough with Dennis said that if you don't have faith, that it'll wreak havoc on your life. Well, lo and behold, the only member that was physically affected there, not emotionally or spiritually, but physically affected, was Chris Jones, the atheist. He had chest pains. He felt choked. He was pretty sick while
Anger. Yeah.
Anger. He felt like he wanted to lash out. And I just thought it was really remarkable how that box picked up the voice of one or more, whatever they are, deciding on which member is the weakest spiritually. Yeah. And it picked out the one that was the weakest spiritually. And so that's pretty remarkable when you think about that. There's no way to fake that. There's no way to even plan that. I mean, it's the craziest thing I've ever heard. When I was going through the footage, I was sitting there just like, you have to be kidding me. There's no way. So I called her right away while I was watching the footage and like, Jess, you're not going to believe this shit. It literally says everyone's name. It even says Lisette, who's not even anywhere near us. And then it says, no, not Lisette. It actually says that. So that's, I mean, if there's proof of the paranormal or another realm, that's it right there. I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's like it's new. Like they knew she was there with you on your team at one point.
Yeah.
And then they're like, wait a second, she's not here, not Lisette.
Yeah. I don't
like,
know
how would she even know that. How would they even know her name?
I don't even know how they know things. Like, I always believe they know we're coming. Whatever realm or however they move around or however they do, whether it's evil, good, whatever. I don't understand it all, but I know they know us. They know when we're coming. They plan for us to be there. They know we're coming way before we're gonna get there. So
Yeah.
It's creepy and scary. So, you know,
Yeah.
anyway,
And how do you prepare for something like that? You know,
I don't have any idea. And then, you know, and then when you move back upstairs with Melissa, I mean, that's one of the things that we'll never forget because we literally had some crazy stuff happen. The first episode ended with her screaming. The last episode ended with we had literally the sound went out while we were singing to her, and we were having sound issues. And then I don't know if you when I saw the light and when I was watching that video, you know, I don't give orbs a whole lot of, you know, merit when there's one or whatever, because you know you can chalk it up to dust or bugs. And the reason I don't put them in there too much in the videos is because they're hard to prove one way or the other.
Yeah.
When you have like hundreds of light orbs fly in from the closet out of nowhere, either one, someone took a dust canister from a vacuum and shook it, or someone opened a basket of bugs, or something else miraculous happened. So, you know, the only thing I can think is while we were singing to her and making her feel calm and in something that, you know, in my heart, I like to think that maybe angels or something came in and just surrounded her to protect her for a while and make her feel comfortable. Because when you watch that, it's wild. So I had to figure out when I was making that without audio, like, how am I going to make them understand what these lights mean? That's why I added the music and sort of made it kind of spiritual, because I'm like, well, I don't really know any other way to show people what we were feeling and how it, you know, we didn't see it with our own eyes, but how the IR picked it up. So it's crazy, man. The cabin is something I'll never forget, you know. And then the very end scene, with her swinging was really important for us for closure, because she was robbed of her childhood at the age of 12, right? And so she wasn't able to continue to play like a child. I don't know how long she was abused before she was killed. She may never had the childhood she deserved. So for me, when I made the swing scene, was to symbolize her being a child again, where she can swing as long as she wants and she's safe and peaceful. So that's sort of how I wanted to end it for us, because we had such an emotional roller coaster while we were there, that I told Jess and the group that I wanted to end it where we can shut the door and say, hey, you know what? It ended peacefully. We can walk away and hopefully we can heal. We can hope that, you know, that she's more comfortable now. But yeah, it's wild, man. That cabin is something, buddy. I tell you what.
How long did it take you guys to recover? Like, how long generally does it take you guys to recover from an investigation? And was this investigation take you any longer?
Hey, Jess, how long has it been? You're still not recovered yet.
I'm not. I don't know that I'm ever going to recover from the things that I saw there, or just the way that how I felt there. I'm so new to this world that it definitely impacted me probably forever. And
Jess is our sensitive and medium. So she sees a lot more, feels a lot more. So it takes her a lot longer.
Yeah, that was really intense. I gravitated towards that room really quickly as soon as we got there, and I was kind of shown kind of what happened. I try to go to places completely blind, so I can kind of see. I don't want to have a biased opinion. So yeah, that was really intense and really emotional. I don't know that I'm ever gonna let that one go, for sure.
When I first met Sarah, the first thing she did, she walked up to the front porch and she was like, it's like, there's a little girl here. Mm-hmm. And she felt her, and she's all of a sudden she just started crying.
Yep.
Because of all the emotions she was feeling. So, you know, you go someplace like that where it's so intense, and if you're not prepared for it, you know, and you think it's because you don't know. If you know the place, you're not prepared for it. You don't know what to protect yourself with. You know, you're like, okay, well, it's just a house and a cabin, just you'll be fine. And then you go in there, it's like jumping in a 10-foot pool and not knowing how to swim, and you're pushing your way trying to get up, and it's like people just pushing you back down again.
The one piece of advice that I have for you, I'm a medium as well. The one piece of advice that I have for you is find something that grounds you. Like when you're having like these kind of emotions, and when you go to an investigation and experience this kind of like just traumatic event, find something right then and there to ground you. Like think of something in your head that like makes you happy, because what it's going to fuck with you. It's going to fuck with your mind. It's going to stay with you for a long time. Like it's just, it's hard. And especially with like kids.
Yes.
I have kids. I don't know if you have kids.
I do.
Yeah.
I have a little girl.
Yep. So do I. I have a little girl and a little boy. So, it just, I am so sorry that you went through that, and I'm sorry that you're going through it right now. And I feel your pain. And like, if you ever want to talk, I've experienced it, so you can hit me up whenever.
Sarah had stuff all over her home.
Yep.
So much that she had to come back and confront whatever was in the basement.
Yeah.
And tell it to be like, okay, you got to leave me alone.
It probably does need to be some closure, but shout out to Dennis. He definitely has been a lifesaver to me, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
she hit her out a lot.
If Jess isn't over it because I keep dragging her to bad places.
No, he keeps putting me underwater.
Come on.
I apologize.
My God.
I apologize. We thought 360 was just going to be a little, pit stop, hole in the wall. I didn't realize it was going to be so much. And then we went straight to Sweet Springs, and that's a wild story also.
Birds and bats. So I've heard about bats.
We experienced one bat while we were there the last time, which was not too long ago.
I experienced a lot of screams, but
you know what?
Girls running from the bat. So yeah,
I want to defend myself before you guys see this video.
I'm not gonna say anything.
If you see what me and Sarah see, and you're in a room and they're jumping out at you, and all of a sudden a live bird, not a deceased person, a live bird just tries to commit suicide at your head, you're gonna scream.
Hey, Jess, what about the dead bird?
Okay.
We'll talk about that later.
Oh my God, did you guys see the dead bird at Sweet Springs?
It's still there.
He was on the steps.
Yes, that's where we saw him too.
Clean the bird up. I don't know why we got the bird.
You see the bird, Rhonda?
I did. We saw the dead bird, and we also saw poop.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's lots.
Yes, there was a lot of in that first hallway.
Yep, there was poop.
So I feel bad because we went to St. Albans, and St. Albans was quite an experience. We had
just the hallway, just that one hallway, the big shadow man where the bird cage is. He's not nice.
Yeah, that was an experience. And then we immediately went to the cabin, and that was an experience. And then we immediately went to Sweet Springs.
Jesus.
So we have decided as a group that the month of May, we're taking a month. We're going down to like Yorktown Beach. We're just walking around.
Find your happy place.
Yeah. Because we're going to Waverly in July. So we're just going to up the ante a little more. But anyway, hopefully the Manor House and some other places. But I got to make sure that Jess is okay too in the group. And I want to make sure everybody's healthy. So we don't want to keep, because I don't see what she sees. So I just bring home, I have one person that's just stuck with me the entire time. And he shows up on every investigation since the woods. And that's my friend Kevin.
He's a pretty cool guy.
I think he's great. I know you're not supposed to have an attachment, but he follows me around everywhere, and he's not harmful. He came from the woods, and he's followed me everywhere. He showed up on every single investigation. He's come through the box and said his name multiple times. He's been sort of a buffer. He's kind of told us when we needed to be careful. I don't know how the spirit world works, but
so he's your protector.
Yeah,
he's great. So Kim Moxley actually, her and I conversated a little bit about who he was. And so I know you're supposed to get rid of attachments and all that.
Sometimes they could be good.
But this guy here, while he was in life, he was an investigator and kind of this was his thing. So in death, he's been hooked on to me everywhere we've been. So when we pull the spirit box out, we get Kevin multiple times. At the cabin, I got Kevin multiple times. I got Kevin at the St. Albans. I've gotten Kevin at Sweet Springs. Kevin whispers in the door as we're going into the rancher, keep safe. I'm pretty sure it was Kevin because
Aw.
I've heard it many times, and there's nothing else that would really say that. And he's everywhere, and everywhere we go, we get Kevin. What's your name? Kevin. I know you from the woods, Virginia. I mean, he says all kinds of things to let us know he's there. And that's the one attachment that I know my wife and kids aren't going to be happy about it, but I don't want to let it go. I've also offered him a place to stay in the garage. It's nice. It's big. He can hang out there. So anyway.
Doesn't stay in your garage, but okay.
Do you have a man cave in your garage?
It's not a man
ghost cave.
It's a ghost cave.
Ghost cave.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Because he's harmless and he's helped out a lot. So I'm actually glad he hangs out because he's been helping us out. I think he buffers a lot. I've had some things happen when I came home from Albans. I had a 2.5-3 week period of super deep depression, and I can kind of tell where it came from because I went down to the basement where the bowling alley is and had a solo down there and wasn't really sure exactly who I was talking to. I'd heard stories. I got a whole lot of things that weren't real nice come across the box. And then it basically told me to, it said enjoy. So I'm thinking it's saying enjoy the next few weeks because it's going to be pretty rough. And it wasn't until I had some very intent prayer and got rid of whatever that was, that it relinquished its control over me. And it's been a lot better since then. But that was a pretty intense few weeks. I mean, it was bad. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
It's tough when you're dealing with something like that.
Yeah, it was rough. It was really rough. So we've had a lot of things happen to us in a short period of time, because I don't know if people know, but our group is young. I mean, we started in October and we've just gone headlong into this.
Yeah, we hit the ground running.
And
that's when Sarah's group started, was in October.
I think it's really important, since you're just starting, when you go into an investigation, to make sure that verbally as a team or whatever you do, you set your intentions for what you want to happen. Like, I want to connect with spirits of this land that have a story to tell, nothing of the, only those of the light, those kind of things. And then I think it sounds stupid, but when you're leaving, you're like, I appreciate everything you've done. You need to stay here.
Yeah, we do cleansing. We do a lot of the prayers while we're there. We do a lot of that stuff. I think a lot of what we get is because we bring a lot of baggage.
Yeah.
We got PTSDs. We got compassion fatigues. We got all the trauma we see on the job. We have some ex-military that has a lot of trauma. There's a lot of life trauma we bring all the baggage with us. And so I think it makes us slightly more vulnerable. And
I would agree.
So can
you wouldn't be in your line of work if you weren't an empath. Like, you're empathetic and you want to help people, so you wouldn't even be in the line of work you're in if you weren't doing that.
Right.
So, yeah, I agree.
I'm a firefighter and a paramedic. I've been one for 20 years. And I've noticed a lot that the ambulance, the fire truck, and the fire station, every single fire station that you go to is haunted.
I believe
every fire station that I've ever worked in or ever volunteered in is haunted.
I believe
and so, like, you have people that die on the back of your ambulance all the time.
Well, no one ever dies in the ambulance, remember? They die at the hospital. Yeah. But I know
it's just like it's hard because you're bringing those people with you. And like, I had an attachment for probably about a year and a half of somebody that I worked a code on and just would not leave me alone. So you've got to think about that too. Like those attachments and those, it's really hard. It really is.
And Jess and I talk a lot about, for me as an investigator, I usually seek a lot of I'm desperate for some sort of feeling because I'm numb. 18 years in the fire department, too much stuff. So I'm very numb to a lot of things. So she'll tell you, I'm more likely to want to go down the dark hallway by myself just to get touched and have an experience, because I need to feel something. I need some sort of something has to get my heart rate up. Otherwise, I'm really struggling, right? So I tend to, it's not good, but I tend
Push
to
the envelope.
I push the envelope a little because I'm looking for something. I need something I need some kind of something to happen so I can feel something. And
that makes sense.
I unfortunately push my crew the same way, and I have to be better at understanding that not everybody on the team wants that feeling, but I sure do. So I got to take it easy a little bit, because I'm like, no, we're going down there, or let's do a solo. Nobody else do solos. I'm the only one.
I'm not a fan of solos.
Neither am I. Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
That's totally what I like.
I'm already solo because I see what you don't see.
Yeah,
He's
exactly.
like, I'll do it.
Like, nope.
Well, that's the spot where I feel like I feel the most, when I'm all by myself. I'm alone. I'm terrified. I actually feel my body again, And
that makes sense.
But I got to realize too that not everybody on the team wants to do that. And I learned at Sweet Springs.
Did you scare the hell out of everybody? Yeah.
There was a revolt at Sweet Springs with the solo.
Oh no! What happened?
All right, so Sweet Springs is wild. It was a typical investigation most of the night, right? We had groups of 3, groups of 2. Everybody did their things. We were switching off and on. The entire time I was there, I had a really rough night before we went there. I was at a cabin Airbnb, and
I warned you.
She warned me. Something came there with me, or showed up there while I was walking around FaceTiming with Jess. She said, she stopped me and was like, go back in that room. And I already knew. I'm like, well, shit, she's got to say something through the phone. I'm like, oh, this is going to be bad. So of course it wasn't my room, but it doesn't matter. And then while I was
like, it doesn't matter.
But it was so of course I embellished the story a lot for Lisette. It was like, oh my God, there's something crazy in your room. So Lisette's freaking out. So anyway, that night we were in the cabin Airbnb, and the lights were flicking on and off on command, which was really weird. So I already knew I was in for a long night, because I'm like, oh shit, man, like this shit's happening. This is supposed to be the place where we rest and be comfortable before we investigate.
Oh yeah.
So anyway, I'm upstairs, in my bed in a room on the opposite side of the house, and I hear creaking around my bed all night long, something just pacing and pacing and pacing. And I'm like, oh my God, this is ridiculous. So I yell at it like, hey man, you got to give me a chance to sleep. I need rest, whatever. And then sometime in the middle of the night, something slammed something on one of the dressers in there that was so loud it shook me.
Oh my God.
It was wild. It was angry or something. I don't know what it was. Maybe I didn't pay attention to it. I didn't acknowledge it. I don't think it was Kevin. He doesn't usually act that way. I heard shit happen in the kitchen. I looked over the loft and I yelled down for Lisette, who was sleeping by herself downstairs, and she was asleep. Something was rummaging the kitchen. So I already knew. So when I got to Sweet Springs, I was on edge. I hadn't slept, which doesn't bother me normally, but something had haunted me all night long. So when I got to Sweet Springs, I was stressed. I was trying to get everything to work right. So we start our investigations. The girls are really affected in the slave quarters downstairs. They were having lots of
I don't like that area.
feelings where they couldn't breathe, choking. Yeah. They were having a lot of experiences there. So for the most part, that was the main part of the experience. And so towards the end, I decided as a group, I did the solo because I really wanted to do that, and that was amazing. I felt great. It was awesome. I got to experience the place by myself for a minute. That's right up my alley, right? So I love that. And then I decided to come down and say, hey, as a group, I know you girls have been affected, but we're going down to the slave quarters as a group to face whatever's down there, because we want to show them that, as a group, we have, power or whatever. So we went down there. We did the Estes method. We started with my sister, who's never investigated anywhere before, and she was having lots of trouble breathing. We let her stay under for a little while. We got 0 voices on the spirit box for 8 hours. So 8 to 10 hours. Now that's remarkable, really, because when you think about the spirit box, you're either going to get voices or you're going to get. I try to tell everybody the spirit box is pretty awesome because when it's working, you hear voices and they respond to you. When it's not working, you're going to hear just plain white noise. And occasionally you pick up a radio channel, right?
Yeah.
It is what it is. We picked up absolutely nothing but the for 10 hours, nothing. I'm like, this is ridiculous. So we took my sister down there, we put her under, got nothing except for something grabbed on her belt, right? So she freaks out on camera. We pull her out and we're like, all right, we're leaving. Well, then our Lisette, our young investigator, is like, well, I'm going to go do it. Now, I give her credit because she was pretty terrified, but she was like, I'm going to do this. So she goes under. Lisette goes under. He put her under, and she can tell she's really fighting fear. And then something actually grabs her back really hard. Like it comes up behind her and grabs her really hard. So we can tell she's really uncomfortable. So we pull her out. well, this is when it gets bad. So then I'm just going to ruin the whole show. It's okay. The episode. Nobody's. So, I say, hey, if you're a coward, you're picking on the women the whole night. You never did anything to any guys. You never said anything. If you're such a coward, you want to hang in the shadows, and the only time you mess with anything when women are here, I'm going to go under, and I dare you to do something to me, right? Like,
antagonizing.
Yeah, sure. So, which is typical for me, right? So, and I'm not saying it's a good thing. It's not a good thing, but I can't help it. It's my defense mechanism. So I go under, and as I'm sitting there, I get a hand on my shoulder at one point. So you see me pull the blindfold off and be like, hey, I had a hand on my shoulder. But then I go right back under. From the moment I go back under the Estes method, I lose track of time. I don't remember a good 3 to 5
Your
minutes.
demonic laugh.
Well, hold on. So I'm sitting there, and on the video, you can hear me. You can see me smile, and then I only know this because I watched the video. I laughed 2 times, right? And it's a real dark, real scary laugh. And it's right after Lisette asked, like, are you shy? Are you afraid to communicate with us? And then it's this really dark, like, laugh, right? And after the second laugh, everybody starts freaking out on the camera. And then I come out of it, and I wake up laughing because I don't even know why I'm laughing. I pull the blindfold off. I'm laughing, and everybody's yelling at me like, we got to get the fuck out of here. And I'm like, I don't even know what happened. Like, you guys are yelling at me. Everybody's yelling at me. I'm laughing thinking I don't even know what's funny because I'm trying to tell them I don't know what's funny. Something made me laugh. I'm laughing right now, but I'm very confused. I'm stroking out over here. I don't even know what's going on.
Stroking out.
So it took me a couple minutes to like come out of whatever fog I was in. But everybody's yelling, you got to get out. You got to get out. They're slapping holy water all over my face. I mean, I don't know what's going on. I'm super confused. And so when I watch the videos, the only thing I can kind of deduct from that is I don't believe I was possessed, but I think something spoke through me a little bit because I don't remember once I put the blindfold back on after about 30 seconds, I don't remember the laugh. I don't remember laughing until I woke up laughing. And then I tried to tell everybody, like, I don't know what it was. It was like it wanted me to terrify you guys. It wanted me to jump at you guys. It wanted me to sort of, scare the shit out of y'all because you guys are sitting in here, but I don't know why it did that. And I don't remember. That's all I remember is it was trying to get me to terrify you guys. The laugh, I have no idea.
Was this before you antagonized it or like after it?
After.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
She felt something.
So we had an emotional ending to this event. And then we went outside. Everybody slapped me with holy water and was freaking me all out. And then, of course, me, I'm like, no, we're going back in. Like, I want to go back in. I got to finish this up. It's only 2 a.m., right? So reluctantly, the group followed me back in, and we went upstairs. And while we were upstairs, we heard some other shit. There was some hissing on the camera that I caught today when I was watching some evidence. And at some point, the group decided they've had enough, and they drugged me out of there. And the craziest thing happened, and I'm really mad about the fact that I didn't get it on camera. But as we were leaving, we were standing next to the cars, and everybody's still yelling at me to leave, which was at the moment I was very angry. I'm like, why are you making me leave? I don't even remember what happened. You're yelling at me. As I looked over to Sweet Springs, there's the big porch that runs all the way along the front. And underneath, you can see the downstairs, and there's like little arch windows, and some of the lights were on. Well, I was a little angry because I saw it twice. There was a tall shadow figure dart, and it did this kind of dart. It darted like it zigzagged and darted to one side. So I'm like freaking out, like, get the cameras. I just saw, and everybody's yelling, hell no, we're not going over there. I'm like, no, seriously. And then I saw
You gotta go back.
And then it darted back to the exact same place and went back over. Now I'm freaking out because, you know, as your investigator or paranormal enthusiast, that's like a gold mine. Right? I'm thinking, shit, I'm ready to run back to that spot and see what's over there. But no, happened. And I think what that was is actually the same male spirit that ran after the girls. They went outside to use the bathroom to the separate building. And while they were out there with no cameras or anything, a male spirit, they sounded like a male ran up to them and went, blah, 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 you know, some kind of like.
I don't know what he said, but he was very loud, and I just ran. My instinct is
no, what happened to us on the 3rd floor? We were up there on the nurses station, and men and women separated. And we were walking down the hall, and I kept feeling like somebody ran up on me, like, boo. Like, I felt like it was literally like, it was just like, I don't want to say they were, I don't think they meant any, I think they thought it was funny.
Yeah.
And as we got a little bit further, all of a sudden we hear somebody go, woo, in our ear. And it was like, oh gosh. Yeah. But yeah. Like there's totally somebody there that I don't think they mean intent, but they think it's funny.
No.
Like
I try to scare you.
I also thought, I had a thought, and I was wondering if, you know how things in the different realm, bad things can move around and travel. So whatever is at the cabin downstairs, I think is very upset the fact that when we were there, we were trying to comfort Melissa as much as we were. And we had thought that maybe whatever was there knew we were going to go to Sweet Springs and actually showed up there to sort of cause some negativity there. So it was just a thought that we had because we had some things happen that seemed a little bit, it didn't fit the narrative for Sweet Springs. It was a little bit on the darker side. And so
why not?
I mean, I don't know how it all works. If I did, I would quit.
None of us do.
It says they can't go from place to place.
I think absolutely can, yeah. And I think it was angry because when we were there with Melissa, we were very much vocal about we're not afraid of you and we're going to protect her. And we were, you know, we had a great communication with her without it being involved. And I thought that maybe as a revenge, it would try to cause us some torment.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard people tell me that they before they went to the cabin, they've had dreams about the place and they never been there.
Yeah,
Just did.
Yeah, I did.
Oh.
I had a dream that we were in the basement, and I always call my husband. That's what he's in my phone as.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody else knows that, but I had a dream that we were all in the basement, and the concrete little pillars, the chair that's down there, my husband was sitting in, and whatever dark entity was down there, like cocked its head around and tried to reach and grab him. And then I woke up, and I was super spooked. And then when we went there to investigate, that night we were all down there, and I moved his chair beside me, and the spirit box was talking about husband, and it's on the cameras.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, no.
And so how accurate was your dream to the actual?
Very accurate. Very, very vivid.
And you've never seen the place before?
Well, unfortunately I had been there the day before, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got you. But still, I mean, you know.
It was still very vivid to have the experience before the experience. Like everything that we had experienced in that few minutes I had dreams.
If they can go into your mind in a dream, then obviously they can probably go to Sweet Springs or go to St. Albans or even go to the next place you have coming up.
Yeah, I don't understand how it all works, man. I wish I did, but I just know it's powerful, and we got, we gotta be careful. But it's wild, man, and some of I'm learning a lot because we're new, right? So we're trying to figure it all out. But there's a spirit talker app, and I'm not big on apps. I'm not a big fan of apps, but
I like that app.
I used to, but I don't anymore.
This damn app is weird though. I don't think it always works. I was thinking about it today. I'm wondering if whatever word that's built into that thing, spirits have a real hard time making those words say what they wanted to say. So you get random words every once in a while. And I'm not proponent of this app. I don't make any money off this app. But what I'm telling you is, as I'm watching this footage and reviewing everything, the shit that this thing says is really too exact on what's going on. So like today I was watching some footage when we were in this the sanctuary ballroom, I don't know, whatever room it was. We had 2 spirit talker apps set up at the same time. They both spoke at the exact same time. One said, "Hear my steps," and the other said at the exact same time, "I'll prove to you that I'm here." And I mean, this is just one instance where out of maybe 50 while we were there, that this damn thing said things that were way too personal. And I'm like, I don't understand how this app works. I mean, it doesn't make any sense to me.
Can I tell you something right quick about that? So it was the first time ever I downloaded it. And I was like, let me just test this out. And we were in the room that we had just moved into. We were renovating it. And I was with both of my kids. My daughter's name is Bella, and my son's name is Dallas. And I pointed to my daughter and I said, "What is her name?" And it popped up Isabella. I said, "What is my name?" And it popped up Sarah. And then I pointed to my son. I said, "What is his name?" And I said, "If it says Dallas, I'm going to shit my pants." And it said Dallas.
You had to buy new pants.
You had to clean her
I'm going to say something though. I'm going to disagree a little bit. I'm going to disagree because I was all on board for it. But the more we used it and the more we have used it with multiple people using it, I'm not as confident in it as I was. Because it seems to, I've been in locations where it seems like the same words cycle at the same time.
Yeah, it's hard to say. I mean,
we've had two people running the same app. One's getting nothing, one's getting something. We've had running the same app. They get nothing that makes any sense. They're so far left and right. You don't know what to do. Because I started noticing patterns where, when you turn it on, the first few things that come out are exactly the same.
Yeah, I think.
Are they listening to us? What are they doing?
I wonder if it has anything to do with the actual location you are.
Maybe
the of the spirits that are there, because it's like you and I were alive, right? So my abilities and your abilities and my strengths, your weaknesses, they're different, right? So
right.
I'm wondering if we go to a place, maybe some spirits have more power, more ability to manipulate the app, where others don't. The app's going to generally do whatever it's going to do without manipulation. It'll throw out random words. But I've noticed random words because I'll watch the videos and I'm like, well, that doesn't make any sense. None of those names make any sense. But then there's 75% of the time, this damn thing is saying things that I have no idea how in the hell it's saying that. I'm like, how does it even know? That doesn't make any sense. I've never heard it, or it's exactly what we're doing. We were at the real quick. I know we're running out of time. That sucks. We were downstairs in the rancher, and I was walking around, and it said randomly walking, and then Jess says she sees a shadow figure, and it moved, and then you saw our REM pod cat ball music box go off in an order where it made like a half circle, and then the box immediately said shadows move. I mean, that's for that box to be able to say that and to be that coincidental would be impossible. I mean, those 3 things, those 5 things happened exactly the same time. And it was really weird because when you're down there in the dark, you're like, oh shit, she sees a shadow. We see things move in an orderly fashion. It says walking and shadows move at the same time. Everyone down there is like, holy shit. Like that's not, something ain't right. So I don't know how it works, man. Like I don't know.
agree. I mean, at first I was all on board. All of us were.
Yeah.
And the more we got into it, it's like, I don't know.
Yeah. I think it's
I
like
don't know.
A lot of times it says stuff that doesn't make any sense, but there are a few times it'll hit.
Yeah.
And like, I mean, I got murder in the rancher. We got murder basement.
We get that a lot.
Stuff like that.
We got that a lot there. And then I don't know what it is about that damn little spirit talker, but every time we go to leave a spot, it says either leave, keep talking, or bye, right?
Fucking balloons going there.
I do that.
Where did the balloons come from?
Did I do that?
It just randomly
I don't know.
happens.
I just
when
saw
you
the
get
Randomly, sometimes a bubble will show up.
It's Kevin. So anyway, so yeah, every time we go, and I don't know if it tracks the fact that our phone is moving. I don't really know how it works, but it always says goodbye, stay, go, or let's keep talking. It says that shit every time. I'm like, how does it always say that when we're leaving? So I don't know, man.
Is it tracking? Like, what are they doing?
Yeah, exactly.
What are they doing?
No. I don't know, man.
Maybe it has certain keywords you say like, okay, we're gonna leave or whatever, and then it'll be like, okay. Or if you want us to leave, say, let us know, and then to get out or something like that.
It totally could do that. Yeah, I don't know, man. I really don't.
But like sometimes it's dead on.
I know it's weird.
It's
What
weird.
happened with Sarah and her
weird.
name being?
I'm not
being called out.
negating it. I'm just saying I've
Yeah.
had things that made me pause.
Well, I think we have to also, look at it from a 1,000-foot view too, and not take everything that thing says for,
Right.
as the
'Cause
Bible.
then you start making up stories to go along with it. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
It says
That's
apple. Did you like to eat apples?
Yeah.
Okay, well maybe he eat an apple, and it was like you start making up stuff that goes like trying to figure out when it really is just a random word that pops up.
Yeah.
I think he's trying to tell us he wants to eat something.
Hey,
Exactly.
It's forever
And-
like
People start bringing apples to the cabin.
we
and, like,
want
everyone-
answers.
So the good news is I know we're running out of time, which makes me really sad because I enjoy talking to you guys.
Well, we've got a lot more stuff to discuss with you. I was going to talk about how you got into the paranormal and all that stuff. So we have to have you back on the show.
Yes.
Well,
And
Sweet Springs, we have. I will tell you that I did catch a lot of voices, just raw voices on our mics because we wear the little lavalier mics, and I don't know how those always pick up some shit. That's crazy. So I did catch a lot of voices so far on the videos I've gone through. Haven't seen these shadow figures other than one I didn't catch on camera, which pisses me off a little bit. And there's lots of screams. We'll talk about that next time.
Yeah. I want to hear everything.
oh,
next
I'm
time.
excited.
No, I mean I agree. And the funny thing is we caught not on video, but like we saw like in grids, we saw more shadow figures than I've ever seen in a grid. Ever.
Wow, yeah. I didn't catch too much of that yet, but the only funny thing I'll tell you about the scream is I had my AirPods on and I listened to the volume full blast and I have them on sound counseling. And I'm listening to this and we catch a male's voice say something, and then Lisette Torres has a nose ring, so the male voice says something, and then you hear the spirit talker say nose ring, which is really, really not random at all. It's very specific. So Lisette goes, oh shit, I got a nose ring. And then they're standing there waiting, and I'm listening. I'm like, oh shit, I just heard a voice. I got to really listen. I'm listening. All of a sudden, this bat flies, and
Oh God.
3 women scream like they're about to die. And I'm like, I'm screaming because my ears are blowing off.
It makes you jump
my
when you
God.
watch it. I jumped today when you showed me. I
No,
almost threw
but
my
like
phone.
St. Albans, I'm used to bats, but we only encountered one bat there, but it made us all scream.
Oh yeah.
Rabies
in
are
the
a real
video,
thing.
I've been watching this bat fly back and forth. They didn't even know it. It's been flying over their heads like the whole time.
Oh my God. That is my worst nightmare.
Nope, they're there.
Sweet Springs has some aggressive things there.
They do. Oh my
They
God.
like
There
to
was a
run up
raccoon
on you.
there.
I was very overwhelmed there because they all want to talk to you.
Yeah. Yeah. There's
There's so many
that
of them there.
lady, the lady in like the I don't remember, like 309 or 3, I don't know, whatever it was.
3007.
Yeah, that lady was mean.
Yes.
Like she didn't want to say anything. She didn't want to be talked to. She just wanted to be left alone. And like we went in there, like I was trying to talk to her, and she was just like, "No, leave me the fuck alone." And she
Yeah.
like walked out, and then she screamed. And when I was like, "All right, she doesn't want anything to do with us." So
Yeah, I think I caught her voice on audio too, which is crazy.
yeah.
How does Sweet Springs compare to St. Albans?
It's worse.
See, I disagree. I found Sweet Springs much more different than St. Albans.
It's
Does it
different.
depend on the day, you think? Or if you
It
go
could.
one day,
It
it's like
could.
super busy, super like, oh my God. The next day, it's like, oh, no.
So if you stop and think about the history of the two
Sweet
places,
Springs but is a lot lighter than St. Albans. St. Albans is just has a dark feel to it.
so you got to look at the history though. Like St.
Yep.
Albans was a boys' school that had a lot of trauma and suicides. It was a mental institution. When you got Sweet Springs, it was a hotel resort for the rich. So that's not bad. You had your tuberculosis outbreak, but none of those people were probably evil. They just had a sickness and passed away, unfortunately. And then what was it after the tuberculosis?
And elderly.
Nursing home, right? So
Yeah,
I mean,
nursing home.
other than smelling like piss, that was pretty much all you got.
It did a lot.
But
He's over
but
here.
so it's not gonna have the same evil as St. Albans, right? I mean,
Yeah.
whatever's
Not the
there,
same
you know,
feeling.
is brought there from other people. Because if you watch a lot of videos online, these people come there with this intent to bring out whatever evil they can bring out, and you're just going to, you know, manifest something there that's evil that never was.
Yes.
So
Yes. I'm so glad you said that.
we don't need to do all that shit, man. That
Yep.
should follow us to the Waverly. We're going to Waverly. I'm sure there's plenty of evil shit to deal with there. We didn't want to do that when we went to Sweet Springs. I think Sweet Springs is beautiful as
Me too.
property. There's just a building and the columns out front.
Mhm.
Just the most beautiful place. The dead bird though, just sweep it up. You know, it doesn't take that long.
I don't understand.
Now it's like a landmark.
It really is.
Like, why is it still there?
It's there. I mean,
Yeah.
if it's there,
It's
we
all
should
puffed
have
out
it.
now.
It's insane.
And the
It'll probably be
poop.
there when we go back in September.
It'll be there. Yeah.
It'll be like a skeleton.
No, I don't think so. I think it's preserved in the position that it is.
It's like a mummified
Yeah.
bird.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Oh,
man.
guys, it's come to the end.
I know.
We appreciate you guys coming
So
on.
much more to uncover.
Hey, Ryan, we're still doing August.
August 3rd.
Yeah, man, I'm excited about
Yes.
that.
We're excited to
so
have biscuits to come back to the cabin. Woohoo!
See this right here. Let's survive first. Yeah, so that's our organization that we've partnered with. Real quick, we're first responders. We partner with Survive First, mental health support resources for first responders, police, fire, EMS, dispatchers. We're adding in nurses now because they are not necessarily technically first responders by the rules, but they deal with a lot of frontline stuff. So we're starting to allow nurses to come with us. My sister is an RN. She came. There's another nurse that wants to show up. I'm not saying that they're gonna. They don't all want to be members, but we're allowing those folks to go. So we're trying to open up our horizon, let other folks that need the help.
We like guests and collaborations.
Yeah, so like on our YouTube channel, there's a link, there's a QR code. Go there, Survive First if you want to donate. If you're a location that wants us to come to your location, or if we can come to your location and you donate the location night to us, we will take the same amount of money and pay it towards the charity. We still want to be able to donate that way, and we'll make a big show about it. I bought this big ass check, so I'm waiting for someone that I can use it with.
That's cute.
We'll use it on the 3rd.
Yeah, I'm excited about that actually.
It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah, so if you can help us out with that, we'd appreciate it. And just subscribe, because when we get enough subscribers and we get enough watch hours, we can monetize a little bit and we can generate some money and send straight to Survive First. So we're really excited. Yeah.
That's a great cause.
Yeah, man, it's a cause that touches our heart because it involves us. And then May 10th, I should have Sweet Springs episode out.
Can't wait.
Yeah, I
I'm
mean,
excited to see your Estes method.
I mean,
laughter, creepy.
you can see the faces on everybody there. They were pretty terrified. I don't know. I didn't.
That's awesome.
I don't remember it, but whatever.
Guys, check out Beyond the Badge Paranormal. Check out their YouTube channel. They got a lot. They got you got St. Albans up there now. I got the cabin on 360.
We got
Is that
Old
it?
House Woods 1 and 2, Circa House, which is the first 3. That was the first 3 we did. Then we went to Albans. Then we did the cabin. Now we did Sweet Springs. So yeah,
Awesome.
they get a little better each time, but maybe I don't know.
I mean, I was really impressed by the cabin one. So
Yes,
they're a lot of fun to watch,
Appreciate
and
it.
we'll have you guys back on to go dive more into the history of like how you got started into the paranormal.
Yeah, let's do it. Man. Let's
Later
do
on
it.
this year.
Yep.
Perfect.
Thanks for having us.
All right, guys. Thank you,
Bye.
Jess. Thank you, Jeremy. Have a great night.
All right, buddy. See you guys. See you, Rhonda. See you,
Bye.
Sarah.
bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Well, that was fun. I enjoyed that show.
So as he was talking, did you smell something? Yeah. So as he was talking about like the
You're
cabin.
talking to me. Like, I don't smell
No,
anything.
hey, sorry.
I know Handy's
smelling
there.
something.
What are you
Like,
smelling?
What were you smelling? Food.
Like cooking, like somebody cooking.
Like somebody cooking.
Was it left over from earlier when we were doing the air fryer?
No, I don't think
No, it
so.
was like pot roast or something
She
like that.
she said it's like pot roast.
Because it was like a garlicky smell from
Yeah. It could be from
the
earlier.
air fryer. Got the French fries going, which was good. I enjoyed the French fries, although they weren't as good as the last time we were there. So, Rhonda, who do you have coming up on the Orion Effect?
You.
That's right.
Wow.
You.
Celebrity status.
Yes, I am excited to be on the Orion Effect live from the Brick Rancher.
Ooh.
Yep.
Yes, we're
That's
going
fun.
to be photobombed by demons.
Oh god.
It's going to be a fun. Are you going to be out there with us? Are you gonna
Yes,
come out?
I'm coming.
Yes, we can have a good night because we're going to make a fire pit out there. Sarah's going to come out and join us.
Yep.
She's going to be watching the show.
Yeah.
But we're going to do we're going to cook hot dogs and stuff on the fire.
I love me some hot dogs.
It's going to
Me
be
too.
good. Looking forward to it. And next
Yep.
week on the Freakin Awesome Paranormal Show, we have got Two Brothers Extreme Paranormal and a special 8:00 start time.
Yeah. It's at 8
Okay.
o'clock.
And if the show ends at 9, if you want to do some paranormal react, we can throw some of that
Sure.
on too.
Let's do it.
Yeah. Perfect. So you get 2 shows for the price of 1
Yeah.
next week.
That's fun.
Yes. So guys, thank you for everything. Sarah, don't forget to turn the lights off, lock up, and be safe out there. Hanny, have a good night.
You too. Thank you.
How'd it go out there?
How'd it go out there?
Very well.
She said it went well.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy today. I walking in the woods. We had some crazy stuff happen, especially when Elizabeth started crying for no reason.
I got fucking
You got grabbed too.
like somebody fully like put their whole hand on top of my shoulder and like pulled back. I really thought I was gonna like look back and see Dennis there because he likes to fuck with me.
That would have been the ultimate like troll if he
Listen, I
followed us
would've-
through the woods. And we never noticed him. You just sneaking
I know,
hiding
he
behind
was just
trees and
fucking,
shit.
like, just hiding behind a tree. Full fucking stealth
Yeah.
mode.
You've been like
And
a
then he got
freaking
called
ninja.
out. He got called out back there too.
Yeah, he
They
said,
were like,
"Oh
"Hey,
yeah,
asshole," and it sounded
Yeah.
like him too.
coming through the was it
I
necrophonic?"
was like, Dennis is always watching us. He's
Yeah,
big
he's
bro-
always around. God, that was crazy.
That was so.
'Cause I
bad.
thought you had a bug on you or something.
No, man, that was awful. I don't like that at all. I don't like when they touch me. I don't like it. It's
See,
just-
once we're in that area where we were, because where we were, Rhonda, was in the way back. We
Yeah.
followed into the woods, and we ended up in that area in front of the way back, like where you go in the circle and you face forward and hit and see the fence. We're in that area between the way back and the fence, where how we call it the danger zone, where you see all the lights going off and stuff like that. And we were right there, like in that area, which I think is not where we need to be. Once we got to the clearing, we were fine. But being in that area, Sarah got grabbed. Our friend Elizabeth, she started crying. She's like, I just feel really sad. And out of nowhere, she was perfectly fine. Then she just started crying for no reason. And and we kept getting Kroger again in the woods.
Kroger. Kroger. And I was like, what is that? And then I tried to speak some German, thinking that it was German.
We started saying words that sound German on the Ghost Vox app.
Dead name in German. It said butterfly in German. But
crazy.
It
was kind of all over the place. But all right, guys, I'm gonna let you guys go. We'll be back here 8 o'clock. Thank you, Brandy. Thank you, Andy. Thank you, Howie, Courtney, Kristen, John, Ronnie, Lois, Shayla. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Be back here. I can't say same freaking awesome time because it won't be.
Different awesome time.
Different awesome time.
Same freaking awesome channel.
That's right. We'll see you next week. I'll see you on Sunday on the Orion Effect.
That's right.
Video Network, 7 p.m. It's going to be awesome. All right, guys. Good night.
Night.